Hey everybody, chat with Nobody Else's Auto, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some Sunday night live chat. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook. It kind of had a lag there for a second, but it looks like we are going. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube, as you see me glancing back and forth between monitors, trying to keep up with comments on the two different formats. So anyway, I think I've got everything ready for tonight. Neil's here and ready to go. David W. is on. Charles is here, and I agree, Neil. I hope I don't get any more leg cramps tonight. Wow, that was brutal last week. I don't know how you guys probably saw the timer. I really don't know how long I was on the floor, but I was probably on the floor for 3 or 4 minutes, and couldn't get off the floor. My leg was locked up so bad. So, Kevin L's here. Dad's on. Albert from Fargo's here with us with a Milwaukee's best, ready to go. Well, we better give you a Hudson badge to get this night started then, Albert. There's Lee, Alan Harper, Jim's here, the Rusty Okie, Matt's on. Thanks for coming back tonight and hanging out, guys. Rusty Okie, I think I got your voicemail the other day, but you didn't leave a number, and so I didn't have a chance to get back with you. So you can touch base with me tomorrow. Pete's here. Doug's on. Bill Disk. Brian Dispatch is here. So, anyway, I'm hoping we don't have those technicalities tonight, but I'm curious as to, like I said, I never went back and looked to see how long I was on the floor, but I know it was a few minutes. So, there's Kevin Brown, Randall with a Nut Farm. Yeah, no problem, Okie. We'll get her figured out. Adam's here with us on Facebook. So, Facebook is apparently working. Doug, do you have any oil cans tonight? I threw a couple of them in the box. And I'm going to apologize up front, guys. I think I've got everything ready for tonight, but it's been pretty crazy. Greg Marburger's here. I haven't seen Cole Standish in a long time. I remember you mentioned that, Kevin, but I haven't seen that dude in forever. I just got back to town about 3.5 hours ago. So, I mean, literally like hit town 3.5 hours ago. That didn't include unloading the truck, going to get the dog, swapping pickups around. So it just, I think I've got everything ready for tonight, but bear with me if we don't. I did not see those, David W. I don't know where those were at, but there's Leo. How many cats are in there tonight? There's 2. Looks like just the regular 2. I don't see any of the rest of them sneaking in here yet. There's Weston. Tweedly D's here. So bear with me, and we'll hopefully tonight will go fairly smooth. And I've got everything in order. I won't have any major leg cramps or anything like that. So there's Alex. Alex is here. Dennis is here. Glad all you guys came back to hang out for another evening. But before we get too deep in anything, as always, let's cover a little bit of housekeeping. Autocorrect, please double check your autocorrect before you hit send. I try to catch most comments. I do miss a few here and there, but if autocorrect changes to something I can't understand, then I will have to skip it. There's Frank. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show channel on YouTube to keep up. So if you want to comment, participate in the auction, because those are the only 2 sets of comments that I can see. Trolls, occasionally we do get trolls on here, and I ignore them. They're trying to get my attention, trying to break up our chat. You guys do a great job of reporting them and running them off. I appreciate that. Super chats are super great. I always appreciate those when some of you guys decide to throw those up. Ads, we are dealing with ads now. There is not much we can do about it. That is a YouTube deal. We just got to work around them. If I get, if I see several people commenting they've got ads, then we'll shut down for a few seconds till I get the all clear. If we're in the middle of an auction and we get several people getting ads, we will stop the auction at that point and continue after we are done with the ads. If we're within the last 30 seconds, we will restart and give everybody a full 30 seconds left on that auction. Throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we're on in case they want to come join us. Pete, any folks new to the channel, say hi. That's right. Absolutely. We always want to welcome our new friends that come hang out with us. Austin's here with us. Austin, I need your address too. It wasn't on that last payment. And I dug back through another one and found an old one, but the system didn't like it. So anyway, like I said, it's been kind of crazy. And I'm hoping, I don't know how much I forgot for tonight, but I'm hoping I didn't forget too much. But I do know here in a little bit, we are going to give this away. This super cool custom piece V8 made out of old license plates. And we've got some extra license plates for the second and third name out of the big Buick oil can. So going to be a license plate kind of raffle tonight. Plus we will announce the next raffle for May. And I'll give you a hint. It's porcelain. That's never a bad thing, is it, when we're getting ready to start a new raffle? So anyway, there's an Auburn badge while we're getting rolling. We just had the Hudson badge a little bit ago. We threw the Hudson badge up early. We just got the Auburn worked in. So, yep, no problem, Austin. I knew we'd get it figured out. I wasn't too worried about it. I just wanted to mention that before I forget. And speaking of the auctions and address issues, next week, everything from March that is not paid for goes back into the auction pile. And I know some of you guys have got a hold of me, did get a hold of me last week to get that cleaned up. There's no problem with that whatsoever. But please, when you send payment, on top of the address thing, I know some of this stuff from March got paid for, but I didn't know what it was or who it was, because you got to remember if you go by Big Honcho or something on YouTube and I get a payment from Bob Smith and all it says is Bob Smith, it doesn't say what the piece is. It doesn't say what your username is. And I don't have anything to reference, then I'm kind of lost. So I know there was 2 or 3 of them that I refunded that were probably something from March's auctions, but I didn't know what to ship you. So, please bear that in mind. And if one of those was you, get with me and we can get it straightened out. But I don't like sitting on somebody's money if I can't figure out what it is, because that's not fair. So, and I don't know if it is something from the auctions here. I don't know if it's a guy that called last Tuesday about a taillight. I don't know without some sort of information to work with. I just talked to way too many people. Scott's with us on Facebook. There's Glenn. Hit the like button. Appreciate that. Loader Mike at the Eagles. Plenty of bar stools open, ready to go. There's Bill Wagaman. So please remember that, guys. I just don't know. If you have a different user ID than your name, and then I don't have anything to reference without knowing what it is. I move way too much stuff. Like you guys know, there's weeks I'll ship 30 or 40 packages. And a slow week is still over 20 packages. So just help me out on that, guys, so we make sure we don't have any snags there, and we get you your stuff. So anyway, like I mentioned earlier, it's been kind of a bananas week, to say the least. Obviously, last weekend, the first ever gathering of the Nobodies. We talked about it last week. Got to hang out with a lot of you guys last weekend. It was an amazing time. Pete did just text me a little bit about an hour ago and said that he did get a few responses. There's Bert from Maine. As far as what everybody thought about how things went. He said, so far all the comments have been great, very positive, which is awesome. But like I said, if there's stuff we can do better, let us know. If we decide to do this again next year, which there's obviously a lot of people wanting to do it next year. If there's things we can do better, we want to do it better. Pete's email address, once again, there's Pete's email address. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. If you want to do it, stay anonymous. I don't care. This, like I always tell you guys, this isn't about me. This is about the group. It's why it's called a chat. And that's why your feedback is important, and your participation and you guys having a good time is important. So, like I said, we've got 4 of them. If you feel like doing it, awesome. If you don't, that's not a problem either. Just want to try to improve it for next year if that's the route we end up going. So anyway, Some other stuff that happened, obviously, so that kind of took care of the first couple of days of my week, regrouping, kind of trying to figure out where things were at, where things were going. It was kind of crazy. There was just a lot of things. Just like I said, still haven't even got anything organized in the shop, but I just had to get, I still had to get the tables taken down and some of the basic things done that, to try to just be able to get the loader in and out and try to get a few basic things done at the yard. So I got some of that done first of the week. Something else I also did first of the week was I did talk to Will Escarza at Pioneer Village, and did mention to him the fact that you guys might be interested in doing a gathering of meeting at Pioneer Village. If that ever, gains any steam, that's something else we need to think about. If a group of us wanted to get together and go to Pioneer Village for a couple of days. The hotel is not done yet. They do have some mechanical things it's functionable, but there's some things they want to upgrade in the mechanics of the facility. The rooms and stuff are in good condition, a little dated, but in good condition, which is all that matters. So they're working on some of that. But if that's something that we want to pursue and talk about a little more, he said he thought that would be a great idea. Obviously, he's familiar with what we do here and what we've been trying to do to help him and the museum. And so he's like, yeah, that's definitely something to consider. So and then knowing that I was leaving town at the end of the week, made things really busy trying to keep up with shipments and everything else. So I was planning on, and you guys knew that this was coming. I've been telling you guys about it, doing a lot of work with Pittsburg State University, with their College of Technology, specifically automotive technology, and a lot of things happening down there. I'm definitely no expert at what I do on here, but they weren't doing much of anything. So I guess that's better than nothing. So I went down there and I worked pretty much. I got to campus like at 7:45 on Friday morning, and I didn't leave till after 4. So they do now have a Pittsburg State University Automotive Technology YouTube channel. It is obviously, there's Justin. It is obviously in its infancy, to say the least. A lot of work needs to be done on it, but it is up. It is live. There are a couple of Meet the Instructor videos up. We did end up shooting 11 videos on Friday that are all uploaded. They're not all public yet. I need to get some more information from those guys to put some information in the description part of the videos, things like that. But if you guys are curious, let's help them out. Jump on over there after we get done tonight. Pittsburg State University. Pittsburg is spelled without an H. Pittsburg with no H. Pittsburg State University Automotive Technology. And give those guys a subscribe. Check out a few of the videos. We're going to be starting to feed content over there here fairly regularly with what I've got in the can. And see if we can get some attention. See if we can get some traction. And there's a lot of kids out there not sure what they want to do. And this is a great opportunity if you like cars. There's Kenny. So worked hard with those guys all day on Friday to get some of this rolling. Another project I'm working on with Pittsburg State University was announced that we worked on Friday as well. Sounds good, CM. Yeah, just give me a shout. Hope everything is going well and hope you're feeling better. So something else that was announced, Bob Frisbee who was actually my old advisor when I was there. Pittsburg State University is going to do something else this summer they've never done before. Actually, something that no other school has done before. They are stepping up and getting involved in something that no other tech school has done yet. I think it's an amazing opportunity. Obviously, when you guys hear what it is, you'll know that I had a little bit to do with it. But I think it is a great situation for Pittsburg State University. Pittsburg State University Automotive Technology is now an official Rocky Mountain Race Week sponsor. There's Sam. They are going to sponsor the junior street class at Rocky Mountain Race Week, which are the kids that are like 14 to 17 years old, and they can race with their parent in a regular car. So junior street is going to be sponsored by Pittsburg State University Automotive Technology. JP's here. Pappy's on. So really excited about that. All the guys in the automotive faculty are excited about it. As a matter of fact, when this came up, this has been in the works for probably close to a month. And Bob and I discussed it, and this was like on a Thursday. He said, hey, we have a faculty meeting tomorrow. I'm going to present at the faculty meeting. I think we need to do this. And he texted me during the meeting and said that everything was a go. And then he called me after they got down to the faculty meeting, and I literally had to ask him like 4 times because I didn't quite believe him. But they said they presented it to faculty, and there was not one single person in that faculty meeting who even in any way, shape, or form even mentioned that they had any issue with any of it. Everybody was on board with the entire project. They thought Rocky Mountain Race Week was a great idea, something great to align themselves with, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Mark's here. So looking forward to that. Bob Frisbee does plan on doing the entire week with everybody. He will be talking to students. He'll have a Pittsburg State University table. He will be talking to potential students. He'll be talking to everybody. It's going to be a great time. Matt Frost is extremely excited about it. When I called Matt, threw this idea at him, he said he has been trying to align with a school for several years because obviously the kids are important. I mean, Rocky Mountain Race Week runs in June specifically so kids can go. And so that's what's cool about it. Matt's been looking for this type of a partnership, and this thing just seems to work. I mean, MoCan is on the circuit this year. I mean, literally the College of Technology is maybe 8 miles from MoCan, maybe. I mean, so super excited about that, and I think it's going to be an amazing thing. So can't wait to see what the results are from that. Yeah, that idea did cross my mind, Neil. That maybe those knuckleheads that run the live stream, maybe we could kind of twist their arm and spend a little time hanging out on the live stream with those guys too. So Adam was involved. We did a live on the Rocky Mountain Race Week page on Friday with Bob, myself, and Adam Dory to announce this, and really excited about where this may go. Pittsburg State is looking at this as hopefully a long-term relationship. They love what they've heard about it. They love what they've seen about it. And they are absolutely looking forward to and hoping for a long-term relationship with Matt Frost and Rocky Mountain Race Week. So can't wait to see how this all comes together, but I think it's going to be a really, really good thing for everybody involved. So Randy just got in from the Canfield, Ohio swap meet. That's true. A bad day at swap meet is always better than a good day at work. Steve's on with us. Sounds good. No problem, Steven. And his daughter's down there too. So, it's pretty cool. So Steven knows exactly what we're talking about Pitt State. But a lot of awesome things happening, and can't wait to see some of this stuff starting to take shape. So that was Friday. If you guys caught the short on Saturday morning, some of you guys do know where I was at Saturday morning. Mopars at MoCan. Did run out there. They had a car show, races, and a small swap meet. Actually, for a small swap meet, probably 15 or 20 vendors, I did pretty well. I was pretty excited. Actually ran into a guy that I used to work with at Chrysler Corporate. It was great seeing him for a while, hanging out. And ended up buying a ton of stuff from him. Some stuff that we're going to be sharing on here. like a whole bunch of Mopar oil cans, like 25 Mopar oil cans. So really excited about that. Some great cans. They were all duplicates for him. I just said, what do you want for all of them? Let's buy all of them. Did buy a bunch of parts from him, some Newell stock stuff, as well as my buddy Bob was out there, and he's got like 3 or 4 A-body Barracudas, and this guy had a bunch of A-body Barracuda stuff. So he ended up buying a bunch of stuff there that for some of Bob's projects from him. And then and ended up buying, like I said, for a small swap meet, I did fairly well. I was pretty pleased. Bought a bunch of Ram Charger parts, bought a few Chevy parts, which, hey, that's a great place to look for, go to a Mopar swap meet to look for GM parts, or go to a Chevy swap meet and look for Mopar or Ford parts. That always works out good. So, Nate, actually had a group of auto tech kids hanging out at the Circuit Drag and Drive last week at MoCan. Yep. That's true. I think the hobby is alive and well, and I agree with that. But and can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome with Pitt State being involved and getting that word out to those kids about other opportunities there too. So, but like I said, for as small as that swap meet was, I did well. Got a lot of cool things. Super excited about my Mopar oil cans. There were no turbine cars there, Bill. This was a much, much smaller event than something that they're going to bring a turbine car to. But like I said, overall, it was good. Sounds good, Gunnery. Just give me a shout whenever you get a minute. Leo spinning some old country vinyl. There you go. Any swap meets that I set up at, the only thing I set up at is Wichita. I set up at the Wichita swap meet because I've set up the Wichita swap meet for longer than I can remember. I think we started setting up the Wichita swap meet in the late 80s. I was probably 13, 14 years old when we started setting up the Wichita swap meet. Never missed one since. Since they moved it, I've got great spots in the Century 2 building, but that's the only one that I go to set up at. Wichita is in March. Tractor Mike, you didn't wake me up. I was just zonked. I was just beat. It'd been a long day. But since Tractor Mike is on, Tractor Mike bought another car yesterday, shockingly to no one, because he bought a tractor last weekend. He bought a car yesterday. So, yep, I did get a good variety yesterday. Like I said, for a small swap meet, it's kind of a crapshoot as whether you're going to find anything. But it did really well. So then after that, we'll let Tractor Mike unveil his new ride. Tell you everybody what he bought. It's slick. I got pictures of it. Tractor Mike needs to buy only tractors. Tractor Mike isn't much better when it comes to cars or trucks. He gets a little more excited about tractors, but he will buy a car or truck in a split second. So Billy Bowman's here with us. So after we got done, and obviously I ended up being there a lot longer than I thought. So, I thought I'd run out there knowing it was not going to be a big swap meet, but I ended up being out there for a couple hours time we got all this stuff done. But like I said, I was happy with it. Yeah, that's right. You bought a Ford. My Tractor Mike bought a Ford. There's Alec with us. I did go hit my buddy's salvage yard. I got my buddy down there that I usually go and visit, and got some stuff there. They actually did have a fire there this time too. So there was a few cars that got burned up, not from anything that happened there. One that kind of spread from another property, but we got some more cool content from there as well. But Gunnery's an 8 and 9 in fan. Oh yeah. I don't know if Mike didn't buy a Pinto. I can't say that. But overall, it was a great weekend. And like I said, all the work we did with Pittsburg State, I really am excited to hopefully we'll see some fruition coming from that effort and make some things happen. We got some ads coming up, so we're going to hold off here for a second. And then we're going to keep moving here. Looks like we're back. Okay, what's coming up? This week isn't going to be much better. I do need to go see our good friend Glenn. Glenn on here hangs out with Glenn Solden. He's got some cars lined up for me. And, definitely a huge help in what we're doing here, keeping his eyes peeled for vehicles. And then next weekend, Lawrence swap meet, Lawrence, Kansas. Do plan on hitting that one. So I don't know if anybody's planning on going to Lawrence. But, just if you're going to be in Lawrence, holler at me. I mean, it'll be great to catch up, say hi. But Dad and I do plan on hitting Lawrence Swap Meet Friday and Saturday. So we will be in Lawrence, Kansas this weekend for that swap meet. So if anybody's going to be there, keep that in mind, or anybody in the area. I don't know if Classic Ride Society is going. Who's in the drawing? We'll get to that here shortly and go through everybody who got in the last couple weeks right before we give away the big V8 sign. So anyway, Randall got ads with premium. I have not heard anything. I've not heard anything about whether or not they did. Pratt County Commission. So I haven't heard if they had any damage. I've not seen anything that they did, so I'm going to take that as good news. And Leo, your envelope is not in here. I did not get you in, Leo. I'll have to get you in next week because I've got your stuff all out in that box and I didn't get yours done, Leo. So I apologize. That was my fault. So, let's see. Oh, that was cool. Rusty Okie hosted make a show for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I haven't heard anything about it getting hit, so I'm keeping my, no news is good news type of thing, I guess. Austin is going to try to go. Cool. Minden, Iowa got hit. Well, I'm glad it wasn't Minden, Nebraska. So, anyway, you guys are probably getting a little thirsty. So anyway, this week was so crazy, I actually did not go pick up any cars, but obviously I do have an entire truckload of parts because stopped by a salvage yard, Mopars at Mocan, saw Tim today, Tim Stanger, Mr. Good Pliers. So the truck is full. So we're going to be getting that thing unloaded, and we'll do a video once I get all the parts laid out. And then we will also, there's some, I got a sign from Tim today. I think it's a pretty cool sign. I kind of like it. It's a local piece, but I'm pretty excited about it. Obviously the Killer Mopar oil cans. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up for Toy Tuesday as well. Minden, Iowa is 15 miles from Austin and it got flattened. Whoa, that's crazy. There was a lot of activity actually in Kansas, Leo. In fact, when we were on our way back today, we actually got detoured because Highway 400 is a major highway cutting through southeast Kansas, and it was flooded. It had water over the road. So they said they'd had 7 inches in that area yesterday, and it had been raining for a couple days prior to that. So there was a lot of water. I've not heard about a lot of tornado damage in Kansas, but an excessive amount of water down in southeast Kansas. Austin said he could 3 tornadoes in his area and he could see one out his front window. Woof. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll get some of that stuff as I get the tornado in Oklahoma again today. Yeah, it's that time of the year, that's for sure. But once we get the truck unloaded, we'll bring you some content, some pictures of a lot of parts that came in this weekend. But anyway, I guess it's time to move forward, keep rolling. Holy cow, you even had a petting zoo. When Rusty Okie puts on a car show, he puts on a car show. Pony rides, petting zoos, coffee bar, burgers, the whole shooting match. Wow. But let's move on. Let's catch the promo model. We'll catch a couple badges and emblems. We'll talk about story time, and then we're going to give away this big V8 sign. And then I had a lot of auction stuff in here. I grabbed a few things, so we'll see what we want to do on auctions and how that goes as well. But like I said, we're kind of play some of this by ear tonight. I'm kind of just trying to keep everything rolling from on a mad thrash, trying to get stuff ready for this evening. So, but anyway, promo model tonight, courtesy of our good friend Pete. Now, I have not opened this yet. If you were with us Tuesday evening on Toy Tuesday, we had a viewer box from Pete, as well as a few other things that a few individuals dropped off when they came for the gathering. The super cool limited edition Cord Hot Wheel from Austin, the killer magazines from our good friend Glenn, as well as the viewer box from our friend Pete. I haven't done anything with the plane yet. Have not touched it. Until I get the wings back on it, I don't think it's going to be too big a deal. Now, when I put those wings out there and it's got a 50-foot wingspan sitting up there, yes, I'm going to have to tie it down. But courtesy of Pete Winters, out of the viewer box, since we did not reveal it Tuesday night, I told everybody we were going to save it for tonight. So here it is, without further ado, brand new in the AMT box. I've not opened this, so I'm assuming what it says on the end is what's in it. I hope Pete didn't put a dog turd or something in here for us as a joke. But Hudson Badge. Let's bust this thing open because I have not opened it. Big job! We do need to do a Toy Tuesday from the cockpit, and I do need to actually get the video put together. I need to do a walk around the plane. I've got all the videos from moving it. It's going to be cool. I just got to get to that point. So let's pop this one open. Oh yeah, check this out. This one's great. Here we go, guys. Courtesy of Pete, and actually, I don't have this, Pete. So I'm actually really excited about this because I don't have this one. So definitely huge shout out to Pete on this deal because I don't have this car. And I am excited about it. The 1993 Camaro Z28 Indy pace car. Obviously black and white body, but here are all of the decals still in here in the box. Even has instructions. Not that any of us would use instructions, but they were kind enough to put them in the box. So let's take a little bit better look at this thing. This is where the decals were placed. They were stuck behind that little cardboard block, so they have actually held in place for over 30 years now. But let's take this thing out and look at it. This is two-toned. That's right. What are instructions? Who knows? Why would we need to use any of those? Okay, I'm kind of curious since this is a two-toned car. Got her untied, still tied in here. Okay, let's take a little bit better look at this. Obviously, it does have a black interior, which is common because these were typically just molded out of one color. It has a black bottom. So it appears as though these must have been painted because if we look, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not. If we look on the back edge right here, it's all black. And Bill may know for sure. But I'm thinking these were just a black promo that maybe they added the white to them for the Pace Car Edition promos. Obviously mint condition, probably the first time it's been out of the box. But really excited about that one because, like I said, I didn't have it. So this is a great piece. Thanks, Pete. I super appreciate it. Talk about the icing on the cake on a viewer box. That does it. Because I didn't open this till right now, guys. This is the first time I've seen it. You're seeing it when I see it. So great piece. Not much detail on the bottom other than licensed by General Motors licensed by General Motors Corporation right up here. Other than that, that's pretty much about it. Everything else, obviously, on the bottom of these are all just a one-piece molded deal. So great piece. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. And awesome piece. Great promo. So, actually, since this is wired in, I'm going to just very carefully put this off to the side so you guys don't have to sit around while I try to wire it back in. I'll do it here after a while. But I do want to get all the pieces put back in here. That's right, Pete. And I'm actually going to go move this over to the other table. Hey, guess what I just found? I went over to the other table. I found the black car. And look at that, the black car, and this is the 93, had gray interior. So this is the black 93, and it had a gray interior. The pace car had a black interior. So, so the pace cars were something specific for sure. Okay, moving along. Let's catch some badges and emblems. Actually did come back that time. That was a win. I'm not laying on the floor, but we're not to the auctions yet. Let's catch a couple of badges and emblems tonight. One from the 50s, one from the 70s. This first one is a very unique piece, something you don't see very often. For the 1959 era Chevrolet wagons. And this was kind of an odd one. You don't see these very often. But this was not a Brookwood, it was not a Parkwood, and it was not a Nomad wagon. This was for the 9-passenger wagons in 1959 or 60. The Kingswood. Now, the Kingswood, I looked up a little bit on these, found some stuff on Wikipedia and things like that. And the Kingswood was offered as a mid-range, full-size, 4-door, only 9-passenger. All the Kingswood were 9-passenger with the rear-facing third-row jump seat. It was actually positioned between the Parkwood and the Nomad. The Parkwood was obviously more of your basic 4-door wagon. The Nomad, obviously the top of the line based off of the Impala. So, kind of a mid-range car, but what's odd is the Kingswood were all 9-passenger. So something definitely different. I mean, obviously, we all know that the 59 Chevy was a complete major redesign from the 58. But, and obviously, the 59 is one of the most sought-after cars on the market today. But this is a great piece. I actually do have a pair of them. They are in amazing condition. You know, if you can get a good look at them on here, the chrome is bright. They're not broke. And this is a fairly decent sized emblem as well. I don't think anybody does promo models anymore, Scott. We talked about that a while back. Bill, when did you say was the last promo models? Bill Wagaman's kind of a resident expert on some of that stuff, as when they quit regularly producing promo models. This is 13¼ inches long. So this is a fairly decent sized emblem, a little over 13 inches tip to tail on this Kingswood. It is chrome plated pot metal. It was stud mounted. Nuts are still on it. So hard to find in this condition. And like I said, I do have the pair, but a very unique piece. Glenn, neighbor across the street and one door west had a 60 baby blue wagon. Mike from Texas is here. So I thought this was kind of a unique piece. Not something you see very often. Obviously, you see plenty of, like Brookwoods, Parkwoods, things like that. That's fairly common. The Kingswood was only used a couple times. It was used in 59 and 60, and then it was used again in 69 to 72. But primarily, so not a very common model of car, and kind of odd to see, a nice, good used pair of emblems for one. So kind of a neat piece, something a little bit different. But that's why we do this stuff. We're all learning something all the time. It's the whole purpose of it. Next, we're going to jump up into the 70s. To a Ford product. And it was kind of weird. In the late 70s, obviously Lincoln did a lot of, the Mark IV, Mark V Lincolns were really pretty darn good cars. But they made more special editions in those Mark V Lincolns, I think, than anybody has ever done anything. They had Da Vinci's, they had Bill Blass, they had Cartier. I mean, it's like the ordering book had like a whole section, had to have had a whole section of specialty models. There were so many of them. One of them that was very unique, though, and I don't have any of these cars now, but I've had a couple of them over the years, and I still got a lot of bits and pieces off of some of them that I've stripped out over the years. But one of the ones that were very unique, and part of the reason they were very unique is they were kind of almost sporty. That's right, Tractor Mike. The mid-70s Thunderbirds were also good cars, too. They made one that came literally with buckets and console. Yes, in a Mark V. Buckets, full-length console. A lot of them had factory CBs. They had the simulated spare tire hump on the back. Actually, on this particular model, was covered in vinyl, like a vinyl top panel. It had a separate panel that bolted to the trunk. Instead of just being painted flat with Continental across it, it actually had a padded piece to match the vinyl top, along with the buckets and console and wheels and things like that. Tractor Mike bought a Thunderbird thinking he was buying a Pinto. But that was called the Collector's Series. Like I said, on top of all the other editions they had, the Collector Series was pretty unique. And like I said, I was really shocked when I first, and this has been years ago that I had these cars, probably 15 years ago, and was shocked to see buckets and console in a Mark V. And I do still have them. I did keep the buckets and consoles out of those cars. I think I had two of them. But really unique and really odd to see that in a Lincoln. I mean, obviously those late 70s Lincolns were extremely popular, as well as the Thunderbirds. And actually the Thunderbird was built on the same platform as a Lincoln and could be equipped, the same way, essentially. You could get all that stuff on a Thunderbird just like you could a Lincoln. Kevin L's dad had a Mark IV and Mark Vs. Yep. They were really, they were great cars. They were great road cars. They drove nice. They were like riding on a cloud. They had nice, big, thick interiors. They were great cars. It's just odd that they had so many different specialty editions in Lincolns in that era. Usually a car will have one or two special models. I think Lincoln had a whole different book of the extra special models that you could order. One of them being the Collector's Edition. And and one interesting thing about these, I think these were on the sides of the top. Look how long the studs are on this thing. This Collector Series badge was gold in color, and it's 5 5/8 long. And like I said, I believe this one was on the C-pillar for that era of Lincoln. So there again, kind of mixing it up a bit. The 1959 Chevy Kingswood and the late 70s Collector's Series Lincoln. This would have stood out because the background was originally painted black. The gold lettering would have popped out and looked really super cool on those Lincolns of that era. No, that does sound pretty cool, Steven. I have not seen that. Alex's dad had 4 of them. All right. Moving on to story time. And then we're going to give some cool stuff away. Story time. This car I actually remember very well. We actually drove this car for a few years. This was our daily driver. I remember as a little kid, 6, 7 years old, riding in this car on a regular basis. Mom drove it every day. Which, there again, it's kind of weird to think about this on something from the 60s, but there again, this was in the late 70s, early 80s. This was a 15, 16-year-old used car. It was a good daily driver type car. And, so there again, in that era, that was normal. On this 1964 Buick LeSabre in Coral Mist. This was a car that I think Dad bought. I don't remember if he painted this car or what, but I do remember this was our daily driver for several years. In fact, I think I remember we took this on vacation one time, if I remember correctly. Very unique color, almost kind of a pinkish color. I did look it up, though, and it was called Coral Mist. This was a 4-door hardtop. So, obviously, the 4-door hardtops are really starting to come into their own. Overall, the 4-door hardtop body came out in the mid-50s, and really, you roll the windows down, you still got a really nice, clean-looking roof line. I really think the 4-door hardtop cars from the 50s and 60s are going to continue to gain in value. They're not near as common as your regular sedans are, but they look a lot better. This one had the wide side moldings on it. Justin even remembers it when he was a kid. And this literally was our daily driver for a few years. Okay, when he bought this, and I kind of remember that too. I do remember when we used the 73 Riviera for a daily driver. And that's when Dad parked the Riviera, was when we bought this for a driver. He said it was an all original car, just a nice clean car. Chris is agreeing with me. Yeah. I think the 4-door hardtops are great cars, and in all of them. I don't care, in GM, even Ford had some great ones, and Chrysler had some great ones. I think the 4-door hardtops are going to continue to be more and more appreciated. I know over in the Scandinavian countries, they are already huge over there because a lot of those guys love 4-doors because they can haul all their buddies with them. And obviously the 4-door hardtop is such a great design and almost sleek compared to some of the sedans. So, yep, I remember I seen you roll it. You rolled your up here in your 62 4-door hardtop. So, yeah, I know Steven drives one because he's driven it up here. We took it to Branson. I kind of remember that. I was thinking it was like down towards Arkansas, so I do kind of remember that. But so Dad bought this and then was able to park the Riviera. Now, the 73 Riviera, if you guys were here last weekend, you saw it. It's still here. The 73 Riviera GS is still here. So this one, long gone, was sold years ago. But the 73 Riviera GS is literally still in Dad's shop. And you guys that were here last weekend, you got to see it. That's the car that this one replaced back in the late 70s as a daily driver. Leo's a fan of the 4-door Nova. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this 4-door stuff is not, especially for great drivers, they're awesome. So all old cars in the Rust Belt, yeah, the stuff in the Rust Belt is way rough for sure. So yep, that's what this did. The 73 Riviera GS and Dad still has that car today. Burgundy tan interior 73 Riviera GS. So we actually need to do a video on that car one of these days. But this is kind of cool because this one I do remember well. So anyway, I guess that brings us up to giving some stuff away. And Leo, I apologize. I will get you in the raffle next month. I've got your envelope out in your box, and since I just flat ran out of time today, I know I didn't get you in here. But your box is out on the shipping bench. Who did get in from the last couple weeks? Jay Harper, Charles, Tweedly D, Charles, Weston, Alec, Austin, Big Job, Adam, Briggs. Sounds good, Leo. I appreciate that. Like I said, tonight was such a dead thrash that we'll get squared up. I appreciate that, Leo. And Lee Carr. Now, what are the other prizes? Oh, I did kind of beat my back up too yesterday. I moved some too much heavy, big stuff, and I kind of beat my back up pretty good. We're going to draw 3 names out of the big Buick oil can. The names we just read off, as well as the names from the first few weeks. That's what I thought, Alan. I thought that was you, but I wasn't sure. So I thought I'd seen that come through before. And there again, that's what screws me up sometimes, guys. You know, we've got, as of right now, there are 63 people on here. And so that's why it gets confusing when names are slightly different. So, oh yeah, trust me, Rusty Okie. I know that. I've been feeling it all day, especially when we'd be on the road for a couple hours. Then we'd stop and get out. And it's like, oh boy. I got a crew cab long bed pickup, and I was all the way to the back bumper before I could even think about standing up straight, holding on to the side of the bed. So, but anyway, those names are all in here in the big Buick oil can, getting ready to be yanked out of here. 3 of them coming out here shortly. There they are. I'm sure some of you guys, well, you can't see them now because they all fell over. But there's a bunch of those names in there we just checked out. Yep, Austin, you're still in. You're still in, so. The other prizes, we're yanking 3 names. You will have your choice of a set. Like I said, we were going to go all license plates this time since this was license plate based. A pair of 65-66 plates. These are pretty good, except there's a little bit of surface rust down here. Is that? No, that's just dirt. I thought this had surface rust. I didn't look at it real close. This is just dirt. This will clean up. Holy cow. Well, I should have looked at that before I threw it in here. That's a nice plate. That's way nicer than I thought. Number 1's here. Numero uno here and ready to go. So 65-66 plates, or you will have the option of a pair of new old stock 1970 plates. 3164 and 3165. So anyway, without further ado, let me get my notepad over here so I can write the winners down. That's right, drum roll. Yeah, we'll make it work, Leo. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. Yanking a name out of the big Buick oil can. All right, I'm down to 1. And it is Big Job. All right. Big Job's a Ford guy. I know he's going to like that V8 on there. All right. Big Job is out, but we're going to yank out a couple of more names and give away these other license plates. That's right. He's too busy watching ads. All right, one more next name. If it's Big Job, we'll draw another one. Pete. All right. Does Pete want the 70 plates or the 65, 66 plates? The 60s. So the 65, 66 are going to Pete. That means we've got the pair of new old stock 1970 plates yet to go. All right, last set. New old stock, consecutive numbered 1970 plates. Let's yank one more name. Shake them up a bit more. Dig another one out of here. Pete or Big Job are out. We got to get a third. We got to get a different name because you can only win once in the big raffle. Randy with a nut farm. Randy Allenberger. All right. Well, that was a good time, guys. That's always fun. Set this stuff off to the side here. And congratulations to all of our winners tonight. I appreciate you guys participating in this. We have a lot of fun. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the like, share, and subscribe. And that's why we do this. We have fun with it, and it helps support what I do here financially for the time I put into it, and you guys end up with cool stuff out of it. So it's just a lot of fun. How about a Hudson badge? That's always a lot of fun, too. So congratulations to everybody. And that means it's time to start over, which means we got to empty the big Buick oil can. There's Martin. So you know what that means. It's that time in the show. Time to start over. I think we're empty. We're empty. We're ready for next month. So what are we going to do about next month? The big Buick oil can's empty. So what are we going to do for next month? Well, I thought we would do something we haven't done in a little while. I don't have any 63 Polaris at all, Tim. So don't have anything. In fact, the only thing I've gotten 63 Dodge is that 880 convertible. That's the only 63 Dodge car that I've got, I think. Drum roll again. There we go. Pump plates are a lot of fun. I like doing pump plates. I love pump plates. They're easy to hang. They don't take up a ton of real estate. You can literally put them about anywhere. And so they're great signs. You know, you can usually get pump plates for a couple $100. You know, 150, 200 bucks for an average one. Some of the more rare, nicer ones are pushing 500 or 600. Some of the diesel Chiefs are getting a little crazy, things like that. But, you can usually buy an average pump plate for 150 bucks, 200 bucks. And so they're great. We do a couple of them a year on here. We mix a couple, whenever I can find a decent one, we'll mix a few in here and try to make it, because they're a lot of fun and they're great. This one's a little rough around the edges. The perimeter of it's chipped up a little bit, but what's important is there. What's super important is there, and that's the Pegasus. Mobile. Austin got one of these last weekend. It was a little bit rougher. This one does have chipping around the edges, but fortunately right here where it counts, the mobile, the Pegasus, the regular, it's all there. It looks like it fits his new man cave. That's right, Leo. Austin just hung up his one he won last weekend. So, this is original. The back, this had the studs on the back. It's got some chipping and surface rust on the back as well. But, the great thing about these, they're legit, because you can see the battle scars on them. But this right here, where it really counts, looks great. So we'll start off with that. We'll mix a few other mobile pieces in for the second and third names out of the can. But Doug's got this one. Yep, I've got this one. This isn't an extremely rare one, but it's still a good piece. That's right. Dean says it matches. He's got chipping around his edges too. So Kenny, yeah, that's right. Kenny, you won one of these a couple years ago. And these are kind of when I can find this kind of stuff to make it work for the raffles. Like I said, they're getting tougher to buy. But when I can find stuff that, is affordable that we can work into the raffle, this is a perfect type piece. Great looking piece. Like I said, the size is big enough where you can obviously make this out, but it's not so huge you can't hang it about anywhere. So, $13 3/4 wide, 12 inches high. So a little over 13 by 12 on this mobile regular pump plate for the May raffle. And when do we want to give this one away? Let's check the calendar here. Looks like it's going to be June 2nd. Looks like June 2nd on the mobile pump plate because May ends on a Friday. So we'll shoot for June 2nd. Glad you guys like it. Lots of great comments about it. It's like I said, the stuff around the edges isn't that big a deal. It took a little bit of a shot here, but nothing right here. So glad you guys are digging it. So like I said, we'll find a few mobile cans or some other stuff to go with that for second and third prizes, but it'll be a good time. All right, let's get regrouped here. Too much stuff around here. All right, who wants to do some auctions? We going to do auctions tonight or what, guys? You ready for auctions? I know you're ready for a Hudson badge. And speaking of which, there's something we haven't done yet tonight. We haven't brought out the big kahunas yet. We're flashing these little things around quite a bit tonight. We ain't brought out this one yet. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, there it is. The big mega Auburn badge. It only comes out once or twice an episode, but there it is. So it looks like you guys want some auctions tonight. I'm going to attempt to go get the auction stuff without spending the next 5 minutes on the floor. How's that sound? Oh. Okay. I'm back. I'm not laying in the floor, rolling around in pain. Taking that as a win. Okay. Uh-oh, Mama found some of Leo's lunch money. That ain't good. Got any Thunderbird? You don't need any parts for that Thunderbird, dude. Thing ain't even broke in yet. All right. Let's see what all I got here lined up, ready to go. Okay. As always, we'll go ahead and do a quick rundown like we always do, just because, you know, we usually do have some new guys on here. I want them to feel comfortable and know what's going on. So bear in mind that when we look at an item, we'll hold up the piece. We'll talk about that piece. We'll talk about that car. I'll point out any defects in that particular piece. We may give you some dimensions on it so you know about what size it is as we're talking about it. As we're discussing it, if it's something that you're interested in, you want to throw a bid out there on, go ahead, please throw a bid out there so I know that I've got some interest in it and we can get rolling. After we get done with the description, I will put it on a timer on my phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute and 30 seconds has passed. When I tell you that 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed, please remember that everybody has a delay. And when I tell you a minute 30 is gone, we may be about done on the timer, depending on your delay, which varies based on whether you're on a phone, PC, tablet, smart TV, as well as your internet provider. So bear that in mind. When I tell you a minute 30 is gone, it's time to be thinking about your maximum bid and throwing it out there. Now, after we do the first few items, I will tell you all the bids that I see on my screen as we're going along. That way you guys can kind of get an idea about where your delay is based on what you're seeing. Now, please remember, after we do that a few times, some of these guys get really, really good. The last few weeks, we've had 3 or 4 pieces, get bought between 158 and 200 on my phone, because some of these guys get pretty good. That's right, Kenny, full dollar amounts only. No rubles, no pesos, nothing like that. Just full dollar amounts only. Just keeps it much more simpler. That's a good idea, Big Job. You put, because these are some like gaps between the bolts and the spark plugs and stuff, and then some of the holes in the license plates. Yeah, that you put a little bit of glow behind that thing would look killer. No IOUs. Don't take IOUs. So please bear that in mind. Tonight is all small stuff. I don't have anything really cool because I just flat didn't have time to get it all ready. So everything tonight will have shipping included in the 48 states. If you're a non-U.S. buyer, as always, you are more than welcome to play along. You will just have to get me paid in U.S. funds as well as cover non-U.S. shipping. And if some of you guys want to wait a couple weeks before you pay, I have no problem with that either. Same thing with non-U.S. buyers. And then, like I mentioned earlier, if you've got anything hanging from March, and there's some killer stuff hanging from March, by the way, that if it doesn't get paid for this week, we'll be going back in the box for next week. And I know some of you guys have contacted me. Some of you guys said, there's a couple of you that said the money's on the way. Perfect. Not a problem. So we'll get it figured out. Just if you have a question, call me. Check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. Any of that's fine. If you're not sure what to do, if you're one of our new guys and you just want to hang out, we're having fun, and you see something you want to bid on, go ahead. No problem with that. And then even if you're still not sure what to do, my phone number is in the description part of these videos on Facebook and YouTube. Call me tomorrow. We'll walk you through it. Doesn't matter. Whatever's easy. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. If you see something you like and you want to bid on it, go ahead. We'll figure it out tomorrow. So don't worry about it, guys. It's super easy to make it all work. So anyway, I think that's most of it. And that's right, Kevin L. As well as the Nut Farm have already started. Round up a buck or two for Pioneer Village adoptions next March. They will be re-upping. We have 4 of them. and as well as the one we did for Randy and for Leo on their own individually. We did 6, but we did 4 of them as the viewers of Nobodies. And we'd sure like to keep that going and maybe even do 1 or 2 more cars. So great thought there, Kevin L, to round up. And also, if you want T-shirts or whatever, you can also put that on there also. And like we talked about before, I did rebox the T-shirts, and they're just no yen. That's large and extra, medium and extra large, and I think I had plenty of. The rest of the sizes I'm down to. Some of them are 2 or 3, some of them are 1 or 2 that I've got left. So if you want one of these shirts, they are about done. I have a new design being drawn, and we're just about done with those. So anyway, I guess let's go ahead and get rolling into tonight's auctions and see what you guys think. As always, we'll start off with a few small things and kind of work our way into some better stuff. So where do we want to start? Let's start with this little toy truck. We've sold a bunch of these. We've sold a bunch of these actually, but they're all different. I don't think there has been a duplicate in them out of all these that we've sold. This one is a Buddy L. Some of them are Buddy L, some of them are Tonka, but this is the Buddy L Fire Department. These are cute little guys. They're in pretty good shape. This one still has the decals on both sides. The nose is intact. It's not busted. The windshield's not busted. X-Ray Dean starting us off at 5. Tweely D at 5. This I don't think I've seen this on the other ones. This one has a trailer hitch on it. It is very basic. It is just notched. This hitch does not stick out. It just stands straight up. But you could put a little trailer right over the top of that and hook it. Got a few ads out there hanging, so we're not quite ready to start. So X-Ray Dean at 11. There's Jeff from Ottawa. So pretty decent shape. All the original wheels on the little Buddy L Fire Department. Leo at 12. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. As I kind of keep thinking about what to do next. Like I said, I kind of am not near as prepared tonight as I should be, but that happens sometimes, especially when I was out of town all weekend. Leo at 12. Adam at 15. Nut Farm 16. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Nut Farm at 16. And there's the minute 30. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the end, I got the Nut Farm at 16. Leo at 17. Austin at 18. And that does it. Austin at 18 on the little fire truck. All right. Those are just cute little trucks. So it's been fun mixing those things in. I'm down to the last handful of them, but they've been a lot of fun. Let's get another one of these little primitive pieces. Yep, Jeff, we're already past the promo. What's that sound like? Yep, the old school squirt can. We've been mixing a few of these old service station items in, some of the galvanized cans, some of these old oil cans. They're not high dollar pieces, but they're really cool and they're a lot of fun. This one is an Eagle brand. Leo at 12. It's got some surface rust on it. I didn't want to clean it up too much because it has a lot of character. Nut Farm at 5. Made in the USA. Spout's got a little bit of damage at the tip. But overall, pretty cool piece. Let me give you some dimensions. Let's get this on the timer. Nut Farm at 13. We're on the timer, and I'm going to give you the dimensions on this thing. It's about 3 3/8, almost 3.5 across here, about 3 3/8. X-ray 15. And about 5 inches tall at the tip of the spout. Leo 14. We got X-ray at 15. Leo's just reloading. But I got Dean at 15. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go. Dean at 15. One minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. About ready to wind this one up. Dean at 15. And that does it. X-ray Dean at 15. Got some really nice plates tonight too. In fact, I think all the plates are really great tonight. This one has amazing color and not one that we see a lot of in really clean shape. We've done a few in the past, but not many this clean. On this white background with blue letters on a Kansas 1960. This thing looks amazing. Look at the shine, the color on this thing. I didn't even polish this. This is straight, just the way it came. I didn't polish it. I didn't wax it. I just rinsed the dust off of this thing. It has been used. I can see right there where you see where it had a screw on it. Leo at 20. Yeah, it's a nice plate. The back of it looks amazing. Like I said, I didn't touch this thing. Tweelity at 21. Pappy at 25. Let's get this thing rolling. It is basically a standard size plate, roughly 12 by 6. But man, this thing just looks great. And it's a great blue. It's kind of a nice medium blue. Martin at 21, but I've already got Pappy at 25. Rusty Ogie finally got a 56 Oklahoma. That's good. Pappy at 25. Martin at 26. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. This is the centennial year, obviously. Republic County. There's a minute 30. 30 seconds left to go. Martin at 26. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Martin at 26. Leo at 29. Just a couple seconds left. Pappy at 28. And that does it. Pappy at 28. No, Leo at 29. Excuse me. Pappy came back. Leo at 29. I got my numbers mixed up. Leo had him covered. Pappy just came in later. Pappy had a 30 in there, but it was too late. Leo at 29. I got my numbers mixed up. No, somebody sent me a message about that. Number one, I'm glad you brought that up. Martin had a 30 in there. Pappy had a 30 in there, just all too late. Leo's 29 is what we had. Yeah, number one, what was the, if you've got some specifics on it, somebody sent, LNNC used to hang out with us quite a bit. He hasn't been on here as of late, and I got a message about something about that he passed away. Is that correct, number one? It was kind of a vague message. It didn't really give me a lot. So, oh yeah, don't worry, Pappy. I got some really cool plates tonight. So, okay, that's what I thought. I got that before I left town, and it's just been kind of bonkers. There's Tony. So yeah, it's always sad when we lose a nobody. You know, it's been a while since LNNC was on with us. But sad to hear that he passed away, because he was a very loyal viewer, and he hung out with us a lot for a long time. But apparently he must not have been doing well health wise. Probably the big swap meet in the sky. That's the best way to put her, number one. So appreciate you bringing that up, because I did get a note on that and wasn't really sure what it was all about. So thanks for bringing that up, number one. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Okay, let's do a grease cap. That's right. He was early. I don't know if he was one of the very first ones, but he was early. That's for sure. Cheers for L and NC. Absolutely great idea, number one. There we go. Let's just throw them both up there. What the heck? Okay. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and keep moving forward tonight. Moving on with some of the auction stuff here. Okay. That you're right, number one. That's the best way to put it. I can't think of a better way to put it, and I appreciate you for posting. I appreciate you posting that, number one, because that really, I mean, and there's a lot of truth in that. It doesn't seem like it, but there's a lot of truth in that, and the fact that you guys that visited last week, that's 100% true. They're number one. Yeah, Leo's comfortable with it. I am nobody to have an addiction. I know that, so. But anyway, let's go ahead and keep moving. All right, let's get a grease cap worked in here. This one actually was the one that Pete sent back in the viewer box. We got crossed up, and I shipped him this one instead of a different one. So he brought this one back. I got him the other one, and we got mixed up on them. But this is a very unique one. We had a few of these, but we haven't had one in a while. And this is for an Essex, but it's the really cool, like, Pentastar type shaped Essex. And that's right. Yep, he was in there swinging with you every week. Number one, that's for darn sure. So, all right, grease cap time now in the auctions. Kind of get regrouped here. It kind of makes you stop and think for a second, and we all need to keep that in mind. You never know when your last day is going to be. So fortunately, we're all still hanging out here together and having a great time. But you always hate to lose one, that's for sure. So anyway, next piece, let's check out a really cool grease cap. Doesn't say much or anything on it. It's just a super cool, almost like a diamond type pattern Essex cap. It's kind of dented up over here on this side. Oh, Randall the Nut Farm at 25. It's about 3 inches across. This is dented right here, but it is a unique piece. Obviously, internal threads. It's kind of a shorter one. It's not a real deep one like some of these caps are. We got a little bit of depth out here to the peak, but a really cool piece. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer and keep moving on forward with tonight's auctions. So, Tony got these. I knew we had a couple of them, but I don't think I've got any more as of right now. So, yeah, that's right. Going down the road in the sunshine, this thing would really pop. So, maybe that's who sent it to me. Like I said, it was a text, and I think it was BW's Garage. Now that I remember, I'll have to look back. It's just like I said, sometimes I get so busy with that stuff, when a random text pops up, I'll glance at it, but if it doesn't click right away, I don't pay that close of attention to it. So, if there wasn't much detail in it, so that's kind of what threw me off. Nut Farm at 25, almost a minute gone already. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Randall at 25, nobody else in there swinging with him. That, or they know that Nut Farm buys so many grease caps, they don't want to mess with him. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 25. Nobody going to challenge him on this or what? Ray, missed one last week. You're going to take that chance again. You're going to come out swinging. Just about ready to wrap it up. There's a sniper. They better be quick. And that does it. Nut Farm just come out there at 25 and nobody messed with him. Yeah, Pete's telling them don't start. Yeah, it is. These things are addictive. There is no doubt about it. Probably ought to reset that. And we'll get ready to move on with something else really cool. We've been having a lot of fun with this old cast iron stuff as well. And I got something really neat here that I want to throw at you on the cast iron stuff. These old wrenches have been a lot of fun. And this is pretty cool. I don't know how early this is, but it is for V-Ray spark plugs. Check this thing out. Two different sizes. Of course, I don't know if it's maybe it's 5/8 and 13/16 like they used to be. And you know why you want to use V-Ray spark plugs? Because they're better. It says so right there. V-Ray spark plugs are better. So if there was any doubt, tells you right there they are better. Head knocker, yeah. It would do that. This piece is Tony starting us off at 10. What are you doing, Gray Kitty? Hey, come here. You gonna come visit? It is 6 3/4 long. Pete, before I started participating in this chat, I had 0 grease caps. He now has 20 grease caps. V-Ray spark plugs, because V-Rays are better. Tony at 10. Let's get this thing on the timer and get rolling. Leo 12, Adam 12. We're hung up at 12 at the same time, but I'm sure we're going to get past 12, so. Justin 15, Tony 15. Everybody's got the same thought on this wrench. Tony 18. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Tony at 18. Jody at 20. One minute 30, 30 seconds left to go. Jody at 20. Got Adam at 20, but I had Jody at first. So I've got Jody at 20 right now. Few seconds left. Let's see if anybody else is going to jump in. A lot of activity on this. Jody at 20. Tony, 25. Tweet the D 21. Tony at 25. That does it. Tony at 25. Adam's got terrible lag. That's what was messing you up. Tony at 25. That's a cool little piece. Let's catch another plate. Back up a few years. Let's back up to 1938. This one is also a Kansas. I've also got a few things mixed in tonight that are not Kansas. So we do have some nice plates. This one really looks, it's a little bit dulled, but it is original condition. The white's a little bit thin. But going back to 1938, check this thing out. We can see the white is getting a little bit thin on some of these numbers. This is a basic black background, white plate, Kansas 38. The back of this thing looks great. I mean, this thing isn't beat up. It's clean. It's not rusty. It is pretty much a standard size plate, but I think it's slightly different than what we're used to on most of these. It is 12 3/8 by 5 3/4. Now, about the same as what a lot of them are. Pratt County, says Tractor Mike. 53 is Pratt County. 1938, great looking plate. That's right, and they are all factory holes. If you look at around the back here, I mean, I'm sure these are all factory. I don't see, well, no, maybe this one. This bottom one here, right here, these two here, I think were added. So this one and this one, I think, were added. Nick at 20. Leo at 38. So, okay, Adam at 20. Adam's back. Hopefully he's all refreshed. Something else to think about. You guys might need to refresh. But, all right, let's get this on the timer. I've got Leo at 38. Ads. All right, let's shut her down. We had a couple guys hit us with ads everywhere. Adam at 40. Okay, we all back? Okay, we're good to go. Let's get it back on the timer. I've got Adam at 40. Nick, 42. Hey, Great Kitty, what are you doing? What are you doing there, Great Kitty? One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Nick at 42. Great Kitty, what are you doing? Great Kitty. Hey, come here, dummy. Meow. Yes, you gonna come over here, Great Kitty? And there's the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Nick at 42. Just about ready to wrap it up. Nick at 42. And that does it. Nick at 42. Adam had a 44 hiding in there, but it didn't pop up in time. Come here, Great Kitty. Come here. Yes, come here. You can come say hi. Come here. Come here. Come here, dum-dum. Puck drops an hour. Let's get this show on the road. All right, what the heck? Let's do another plate, but this one's a little bit different. Hey, quit tearing stuff up. We do need to do some emblems and stuff, too. I got to get some more of that dug out. All right, let's get this other plate from a different state. I thought it was new old stock, but I think it's been installed. Leo at 10. I think it, all right, who knows? It's beautiful. It's 50 years old. 1974 Kentucky. Check this thing out. Once again, I did not polish this. I did not wax this. Look at this thing up close. Look at the shine on this. You can literally see the runs in the paint from when this thing was painted. White background, blue letters. I think it was test fitted. All right, there's some very, very small scratches around here. So I think it was installed, but it couldn't have been driven much or been outside much or been exposed to much. The back of this thing looks just as good. I mean, that is all original shine. Like I said, I did not wax this. I did not polish this. This is all embossed. 1974 Kentucky. Look at that thing. Let's get this on the timer. Then we're going to spend a little more time with it. I got Alex at 25. But this thing is so original. If you look up close right here, you can actually see thin where the paint is thin around the hole. Tell me about it, Dean. Tell me about it. On the back, we see some of the paint flaws over here. But just, I mean, look up around the Kentucky letters. You can literally see thin spots around those. I mean, that's how original this thing is. So good looking plate. Alex at 25. This is a standard size, roughly 12 by 6 plate on this beautiful condition, 1974 Kentucky. Jefferson, I'm assuming that's Jefferson County. Alex at 25 as we come up on the 1 minute mark. And there it is. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. You already got your driver's license out. And there's the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Leo, 29. Tony, 32, and that does it. Whew. I thought Leo had it because that came in like a 155, and then Tony got that 32 there like 129, 159. Whew, that was tight. But Tony was there by the 200, so that's what we got to go by. All right, let's get a cool can in here. Actually, a cool can bank. Love these things. Have a few duplicates. I've got a ton of them, but I've only got a few duplicates. This is one of them. On the teeny tiny metal can bank, this one for Trop Arctic, the all-weather Phillips 66 can. This is a bank, has the slit in the top. It is metal. There's the seam on it. Has a plug on the bottom where you can retrieve your change. Trop Arctic, just like it was said over here, if you can make it out, this is a tropical setting with an island. And over here, snow-covered mountains of the Arctic. Tweedledee at 15. Great looking can. We do have a little bit of chipping right here and a little bit of surface rust on the top of it. But a great looking can. Has some details on the back talking about the first all-season motor oil meeting the requirements of MIL 02304. Division of Phillips Petroleum. Let me give you the dimensions on this thing, and then we're going to roll with it. It's about 2 3/4 inches tall. Nut farm at 20 and about 2 inches in diameter. So there it is, the Phillips Trop Arctic Bank. Nut farm at 20. We are on the timer and rolling. Sniper's item, yep. Everybody, these are really cool, and they're great pieces. I've got 20 or 30 of them, different ones of these little can banks, and they are great pieces. But 1 minute's gone, which means we're going to find out in 1 minute if there's going to be a sniper out there hanging on this one. But it's, I mean, $20 is definitely a deal. Kevin at 22. 1 minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. I'm sure they did make some full-size banks as well, but Nut Farm at 25. Tweedledee 27. Kevin Brown 29. Leo 29. I had Kevin first. Leo 33. And that does it. Leo at 33. Those are great pieces. I love those things, guys. I'm excited when we can pass a few on down the road to some of you guys for your collections. Speaking of another cool piece, we all like enamel badges, right? We will do her, Leo. Check this baby out. Chevrolet enamel badge. This is a smaller one. It does have some chipping in it. This is chipped down here. Austin at 15. This is about 3 inches long overall. That's only about 3 inches. Does still have the button on the back. Nice blue color, good looking piece. Original. I'm not sure what year, but a great looking original enamel Chevy badge. So let's get this thing on the timer and roll with it. Austin at 15. Kevin at 15. There's Buick Man. Glad to see Kevin back on. I hadn't seen Kevin on in a while. Austin was in there first at 15. But I'm pretty sure we're not going to end at 15 on this one. Kevin at 18. Alex at 28. Steve Reed's here. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 28. Ticking away, getting close to the end. I've got Alex at 28. Tony at 32. Wow, and that does it. Tony's getting brutal tonight. Holy cow. Kevin had a 35 in there, but it was too late. Oh. All right. Alex had a 36 in there. Well, Tony was lucky because those guys were gunning for him. It was just all hung up. Might want to hit refresh, guys, too. Make sure everything is current and up to speed. So we'll have a Hudson badge right there. Think about it. I told you I had some cool plates tonight, guys. And we've still got a few more to go. This one we're going to back up 99 years. Yes, let's go back to 1925. Back up 99 years for this plate. We've been good here. When I was in Southeast Kansas all weekend, it got awful wet down there, but we've been good here. And this is an average era plate. You know, some of these early plates bring a ton of money, but some of the, you know, this is one that's going to be, you know, if some of you guys don't want to spend, you know, 100, 150 bucks on some of these plates, this is not quite as good a quality, but it still looks great. That's what's awesome about it. It does have some chipping. The 1925 plate was red with white letters, and this one doesn't look all that bad for being 99 years old. We've had some better plates in this era. We've had some worse plates in this era. This is a really nice, you know, kind of mid-grade type early plate. 3-646. Leo at 20, Kenny at 12. I got Leo at 20. Let me give you the dimensions on this thing because this is kind of an odd size. 14 7/8 by 5 3/8. 14 7/8 by 5 3/8. Adam at 25 on Facebook. So let's get this thing rolling. I've got Adam at 25. Mark at 30. Alex at 38. Norma was on a Toy Tuesday a couple weeks ago. Big Job was the last time we've heard from her. Adam at 40. And there's the 1 minute mark. I've got Adam at 40. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go on the 1925 plate. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. I don't know if that was the county in 25 or not. I don't remember when they. Well, yeah, it probably was actually. Not sure. Well, I'm not sure when they went to a county. I thought it was later 20s, but I'm not sure. Mark at 43. Shawnee. So maybe it is. So 3 must be the county. Mark at 43 with just a few seconds left to go. And that does it. Mark at 43. Went to counties at 30. Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was later. That, like, I was thinking 28, 29. So 30 then. Okay. Mark at 43. Mark, have you won before? Adam had a 45 in there. I was watching for you, Adam. I kept an eye peeled over there. I figured you were coming back again, but it didn't show up in time. Mark at 43. Let's slide another piece of cast iron in here. Actually, how about a match set? We've done these occasionally. They've been a lot of fun, but what we don't see a lot of are match sets on our buggy steps. Turn of the century, old school cast iron buggy steps. This is a match set. I know some of you guys have bought these for trucks you're building because they are really cool. This is a match set, same mounting points, same drop, same patterns on the steps. Really cool pieces. Now, I don't know if it's what it says on here or if we can even really make them out. Leo at 20. There were some numbers cast into them, but I can't really make out what they were. But these things are super old. Just the Spurs, yeah. Let me give you some dimensions on these. Nut Farm at 50. And then we're going to get this thing rolling. Okay, these are 4 7/8 by 4 3/8 on the steps. With about a 7-inch drop. They have about a 7-inch drop. There's Dan. Watch from the hospital. Had surgery today. We'll hope everything's going good. And hope perfect. Not life-threatening. That's great news, Dan. Glad you made it tonight anyway. So, match set, old school, probably, turn of the century, 110, 120, 130-year-old cast iron buggy steps. Nut Farm at 50. Nut Farm's out there swinging right out of the gate. We are on the timer. Let's see what happens. Leo, 51. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. I don't know if tractors use this type of step or not. Leo at 51. You can do some pretty creative stuff with these things. It's kind of cool. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 51. Nut Farm 52. Yes. Mount under a table, swing out for a beer stand. Great plan. Should have said that earlier. They'd have brought more money. Nut Farm at 52. And that does it. The Nut Farm at 52. But I do still have a few of these left. So from now on, they will no longer be marketed as buggy steps. They will be beer stands. There we go. How about another badge or an emblem? That is very true. That tractor Mike does not need a beer stand because he doesn't sit a beer down that long. I can attest to that is a very true statement. Let's do another badge. Not an old enamel badge, but still a really cool badge. And I know a lot of us just like ornaments and emblems in general, and this is kind of where this is going to fit the bill at. That's cool too. A nice oil can display type deal. Sweet, good idea. How about something for our Buick fans out there? How about a Tri-Shield badge? 60s era. Not bad. I mean, the plastic still has pretty decent color. The red, white, and blue, it has a little bit of fading, but not bad. The chrome still looks nice. Has a mounting bracket on it. It's about 3.5 by 2 5/8. Now, 3.5 is from up here to the lowest point. Kevin's starting us off at 20. It is mounted to this bracket with studs. You could take it off the bracket. It will unbolt. and bolt it to something else, or use the bracket to bolt it to it some. This is probably, it's a 63, 64, 65 era, somewhere in that area. 2 is your limit in 5 minutes, probably. Yeah, 2 is Mike's limit for like 5 to 10 minute window. So good looking badge. I got Kevin at 20. Let's get this thing going on the timer and see what happens. See if anybody else likes the Buick badge. Nothing fancy, just kind of a nice little emblem. You know, we all love emblems and ornaments, and that's what's cool about this stuff, and that's what makes this fun. So door handle on the shed. There you go. That's a good idea. It kind of would actually work for that. Cabinet handles for the kitchens in your, or the cabinets in your man cave or in the shop. Kevin at 20. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mark at 25. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Justin, 28. Getting ready to wind this one down. And that does it. Justin at 28. Oh, we're going to do something totally different now. Well, we've not totally different. We've done these in the past, but it's been a while. We haven't done any sales brochures in a while, and we got some cool stuff for our Chrysler fans tonight. Starting off with the 69 Fury brochure. This is a nice, big, full-color brochure on the 1969 Fury. There's going to be 3 pieces in this bundle. Check out that wagon. Hey, I just stripped one of these. I think that's what I literally took a tailgate off one of these yesterday. Holy cow, I think that's it. I thought it was newer than that, but I think that's it. It is. That was a 69 wagon that I stripped yesterday. It's got the same taillights and tail panel on it. Okay. I guess we'll be seeing a tailgate for one of these in an upcoming parts video. I did not realize that until literally I just opened this up, and I was like, hey, those taillights look familiar. So I stared at a set for like 30 minutes yesterday fighting the stupid tailgate that wasn't even that good. But anyway, the 69 Fury brochure. Going along with that, the 1964 Plymouth brochure. Sport Fury on the front, Valiant convertible on the back. And there's some pretty cool stuff in here as well. This is a smaller brochure, but once again, full color, great piece. Put this one back in its sleeve. And we've got one more in the Mopar brochure bundle. Wherever Plymouth goes, things happen. Check this stuff out, guys. Now, this was actually a mailed brochure. It actually still has, it was folded like this, actually still has the Plymouth here, has the addressee's name on it from 1964. And there is some cool stuff in here. Send them nobody's postcard. Yeah, that address prop. The address is Rural Route 2. That's the address, Rural Route 2. There is no address back then. And the last page, the little fastback Barracuda. So there it is, all three pieces in the Mopar literature bundle. Leo threw a 20 out there right out of the gate to get us started. I think this stuff's probably worth a little more than that, but we're going to find out. Maybe Leo will get it for 20, but we are on the timer. You're getting all three pieces, one price deal. I don't know how I'm going to hold all this stuff up, but we're going to figure something out. There we go. Leo at 20. We're on the timer. Jeff at 22. Not as much interest as I thought. I thought there would be more interest in these. These are some pretty cool pieces. This is not quite as exciting, but these are great. Jeff at 22, but we're going to find out here in a little over a minute because we're already coming up on the 1 minute mark. Kevin at 25. You could be right, number one. There could be everybody just be laying low. Dennis at 30. There's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Dennis at 30. All three pieces, one bid. Kevin, 32. Leo, 37. 1:30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. 1 minute, 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 37. Getting ready to wind this one up. Is there any snipers out there? Leo at 37. Dennis at 42. And that does it. Dennis at 42. Great Kitty, what are you doing over there? Oh. All right, this next plate is kind of funny. These are kind of different, and we've done a few of these, if you guys remember. Some of the weird stamp plates that sometimes don't make a lot of sense in today's world. But that's kind of what we've got here. And this is all embossed. This is all stamped into this plate. It's a 3-digit plate for a non-highway vehicle that you bought a license plate for. Don't know what the rules were back in the 70s. Leo started us off at 10, but not really sure what you got your non-highway plate for, but I'll be doggone, it said non-highway right on it. And they abbreviated highway, Hiway, non-highway, Kansas, 1975. This is an original plate, and I'm not so sure, it might not be new. I don't see any screw damage around any of the holes. Amazing shine. Once again, this one I didn't wax or anything. I usually try to wax these. Didn't have time tonight because I didn't get back till so late. But kind of neat. And next, this is all embossed. This non-highway is all stamped in here and all embossed in the plate. Adam at 20. So kind of an interesting piece. So let's get this thing rolling. And I got Adam at 20, and let's get boogieing on the non-highway plate. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what the laws were back in that day on the non-highway plate, but something similar to that. But Adam at 20. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Apparently, you guys don't think it's quite as cool as I did. Adam at 20. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Adam at 20 on Facebook. Pappy 22. That does it. Adam slid a 25 in there just as I seen it, just called. As it went 2-0-0 and I called it, Adam popped up at 25. Big job out of 25. So Adam got the 25 in there. I don't know how he did it because it was literally as it was turning 2-0-0. Holy cow. I didn't think that was going to. I thought Pappy had that one nailed down. And big job, and Pappy, we're all swinging for him, but Adam barely snuck that one in. I want to do something this next tool. I want to kind of see what you guys think of this. I think it's pretty cool. You guys may hate it. You guys may think it's worth $3. I don't know. But it's old, it's cool, and there's some really unique features about it. Non-highway trailers, mobile homes not moved on public highways. That would make sense because there were a lot of mobile homes in the back in that area. Yeah, Adam says, phew. Yeah, it was that close. So this is a really unique piece. I want to see what you guys think. Leo heard old tool and he already bid 10. So it's a very unique piece. It's a very interesting looking piece. It does have a patent date from 127 years ago. I don't really know what it was for. It's a very unique wrench. But you guys tell me what you think. Maybe it's only worth $10. I don't know. Check this dude out. Opens here. These jaws open here. So it was meant to grip something. Patent date July 6th, 1897. So patent date was 127 years ago. Now, obviously, patent date doesn't necessarily mean when it was made, but it's probably sometime shortly thereafter. Rockford, Illinois. Now, what really dates this to me, barbed wire maybe, I don't know, it doesn't grip that tight. You can kind of see where the hole is in there. And that's fully clothed. Horseshoe clamp, I don't know, never done horseshoes. It does kind of have flat handles back here where they mate together. But what really tips me off about this as far as being early, like turn of the last century, is these two pieces, Frank at 25, where these two pieces go together. Okay, see this head here where the rivet goes through? Now, this was not put together by a machine. Look at this other side of this rivet. This appears to be a hand-hammered rivet that put these two pieces together. So, yeah, it does have some play in it. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, but it's 127 years old. So, I do want to give you an idea on size. It's right at 12 inches long. So it's about 12 inches long, and this head is about 2 inches. Does it have Love on there anywhere? Yes, it does. That was the last thing we hadn't got to. Love Manufacturing Company on the front of it. Could be a blacksmith tool, Adam, something like that. But anyway, very, very unique piece. Let's get it on the timer. I got Frank at 25. Windmill pump rod, that could be. Head knocker, it would definitely do that. No doubt about that. Leo at 26. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Frank at 30. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Pulling teeth. There you go, big job. I don't think I would want the guy using these on me, but I bet they'd get the job done. Frank at 30. We're getting close to the end. And that does it. Frank at 30. Kevin at a 33, but it was too late. Frank at 30. Leo at 31. Frank got lucky sneaking that 30 in there. Everybody was shooting for him. They just all got hung up. All right, I got one more plate laying here, and then we'll kind of reevaluate where we are. We're going to go to a different state and also kind of another specialized type plate here. Going back to the 70s and going back east. So we'll mix it up a little bit on license plates. What do you guys think of this? Commercial 1976 PA. Obviously used well back into the 70s because they were using date stickers by this point on this commercial Pennsylvania plate. We see the 76, we see the 75, but there are a few other ones underneath the 75. Leo starting us off at 10. This is a standard size, roughly 6 by 12 plate, CR 51578. But it is commercial, and this is all stamped in it. And we can see on the back, this thing is bright yellow. So apparently these were painted all yellow, and then the blue was put over the top of them, I am guessing, since this is a completely yellow back on it. So something a little bit different. You know, I try to mix some stuff up. I know we do a lot of Kansas stuff because that's what I've got here. But when I can find some of this different stuff, I like to throw it out there and see if you guys, you know, sometimes you guys like it. Sometimes nobody really cares about it too much. But it is something a little bit different. So let's go ahead and roll with it. Leo at 10 on the Pennsylvania plate. Adam at 15. Alex at 22. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alex at 22. 49 Missouri or 54 Arkansas. I've got some Missouri, but I don't think I've got anything that early in Missouri. Alex at 22 as we come up on the minute 30 mark. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Alex at 22. Pappy 25. Austin 25. Adam 23. Austin 27 at the 2 minute mark. They were kind of coming in there pretty quick. Leo had a 26. Austin at 27. No, I don't have any hubcaps tonight, Tony. Just one of those things that just flat ran out of time to get stuff ready. So Austin at 27. I thought Pappy had that one until about the last second and a half. All right. What else? We want to do any more? We're going to wrap it up and catch a little bit of the magazine tonight. What do you guys think? We're just going to catch a couple more pages out of the Automobile Trade Journal tonight because I didn't have time to go through any of the other magazines. But I know there's some really amazing stuff coming up in there as well. So I do have a can laying here. It's kind of a different can. I don't know how old it is. See you later, Justin. Got to jump off. You know, I didn't think that this company had been around all that long, but this is a metal can. There is no barcode on it. It's a little dusty. Let me dust it off. But we can do this other can. If you guys want to do a can, we can squeeze that in for sure. right, this is a metal quart. It was new. I have drained it already. And like I said, I didn't realize this company had been around quite that long, but apparently they have. And a lot of times that happens. Some of these companies, they start small. You don't hear a lot about them for several years. And I'm wondering if that's what happened with the Amsoil Corporation. 100% synthetic Amsoil engine oil. 25,000 miles or 1 year. That's a heck of a boast. But this is a metal can, a metal quart. And I thought Amsoil was like from the last 20 or 30 years, but this is all metal, no barcode. We can see the seam right here. Actual painted metal oil can stamped on the top. Leo at 15. Amsoil 100% synthetic engine oil. Now, 25,000 miles or 1 year, I don't think I would do that if it were me. There's still dirt and things like that out there that are going to affect that. But Leo 15, Randy at 25. JP's got to jump off. Glad you were here. Big job. Got to go to the shop and move trucks around for tomorrow. So, yep, you better be ready for tomorrow. Thanks for being here tonight. Amsoil from Wisconsin. Yes, it is. Superior, Wisconsin. It says so right here on the back. Buick man. Is there a year on it? I didn't see anything at just a quick glance. I don't see anything. So it's as old as it is. I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I figured it would have had a barcode on it, but it does not. Kevin says Amsoil started in 72. So this could be something from the 70s then. So thanks for checking that out, Kevin. So I'm guessing this is probably something from Amsoil in the 70s. But we're going to sell it here in just 2 minutes. So Randy at 25, let's get this thing on the timer. Glenn's been using it since 75. Okay, it's been around longer than I thought then. Rusty Okie at 26. Leo 27. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. It's different. It is definitely a different can. It's in great shape, so. Leo at 27. As we're coming up on the minute 30 mark. There's the minute 30 mark. 30 seconds left to go. Leo at 27. Austin at 28. Kevin at 30. Pete 31, Leo 31. I had Pete first. Austin 32, and that did it. Leo 32. Austin got the 32 in, and that was it. Holy cow. That was, you had about less than a second, or that would have been too late. Yeah, Austin got away with a couple of them tonight, and I'll admit to you guys, he got a couple of them that as it was turning, I think he had two of them that as it was turning 2-0-0. Now, that works really well for a while, and I've seen guys get lucky on a couple of those, and then their next 5 things they hit come in at like 202. So, and we've been doing this long enough that I've seen that a lot. These guys get really good, and they're like boom, 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 and then boom, they don't get nothing for like 10 items because everything is coming in 1 and 2 seconds too late. So yeah, that's right, Austin. Yeah, you're getting ready for your luck to start running out. You know it's coming, yeah, because that has happened, and I've seen it happen a lot. All right, what do you guys think? Ready to catch a little bit of the magazine yet tonight? Or do we need to dig something else out? Maybe we'll just head to the magazine. Yep, Tony did get a couple tonight. And that's what's fun. And that's what also makes it interesting, guys. You know, that's exactly right, Leo. And that's what's so cool about this entire group is that happens, all the time. All I can watch is what this says and what I see here and what I see here when this hits 200. And perfect, Randall, appreciate it. And, but everybody on here is a good sport. And some people get, miss it by a few seconds and nobody gets upset. And that's what's awesome. And because it is all in good fun. This is all just the hobby that we enjoy, the collecting that we enjoy, the cool stuff that we like to have in our man cave and our garage. And that's what it's all about. And that's what makes it fun. So the fact that all you guys just enjoy it and have a good time with that is what makes it awesome. So I super appreciate all your guys' support in that and everybody's great attitudes and sportsmanship every time we do these every week. It's an amazing group. So we'll box some more of this stuff up for next week and catch a few more pages in our magazine. The Automobile Trade Journal from September of 1913. That's right. Auctions should be fun, and auctions are fun. They're a blast. I love going to auctions. Tractor Mike absolutely loves going to auctions. I know that. But we have a lot of fun, and we even have fun with them just doing them here in our own group. So, but let's catch a couple more pages. We're already past 2.5 hours tonight. We'll catch a few pages in the September 1913 issue of the Automobile Trade Journal. Yeah, I think Tractor Mike likes auctions. What do you guys think? Alan's got to jump off. Glad you were here tonight, Alan. I think Tractor Mike is really excited about auctions. So fortunately, we still got Kevin's card in here so we can keep our spot. Next week, we'll try to mix it up with another magazine. With the magazine situation is getting awesome, guys. We got the 2 Automobile Trade Journals that Glenn gave us. I've come up with some other cool stuff. We've got some amazing magazine stuff coming up for it. Perfect, Austin. Appreciate it. And let's move back. Now, remember, guys, like where we were at last week, there isn't a lot of pictures in this area of the magazine. But, man, there's some cool facts in here. So, basically, I'm going to read you some more of this information, and we'll catch a few pages out of here. Last week, we worked on this factory news and capital improvements. We're going to go over to this page, removals and trade changes on this page over here, and then try to catch a few more pages. Now, remember, we're going back over 110 years. And what has been the most amazing part about this magazine is just like everybody always says, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We've seen a lot of stuff in here, and I know a lot of you guys have been here throughout all this, but we've seen a lot of stuff in here that you literally could have changed the number on this magazine to September of 2023, and it sounded the same. As crazy as that is. Well, let's see what's going on in removals and trade changes in 1913. And also, the other thing we got to remember is back in this time frame, there were over 2,000 automobile manufacturers in the United States, which is really cool because we're hearing about cars that sometimes none of us have ever even heard of. Perfect, Leo. Sounds great. The Bayonne Motor Company, Bayonne, Bayonne Motor Company, has moved to new headquarters at 720 Broadway, Bayonne, New Jersey. I've never heard of the Bayonne Motor Company, but apparently there was. The Chattanooga Motor Car Sales Company has moved to 822 Market Street, Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Chattanooga Motor Car Company. Skim through some of these and see what's going on here. The Buick Motor Company in Champaign, Illinois has moved. The Stutz Motor Car Company, located in Newark, has moved to new headquarters. The Studebaker Corporation, formerly located at Mission and Fremont Street, San Francisco, has moved their offices to Van Ness Avenue and Post Street. That's true. Lots of tractor companies as well. The Columbus Buggy Company, whose sales rooms were formerly located at 4th and Gay Streets, Columbus, Ohio, has opened sales rooms at 248 North 4th Street. The Columbus Buggy Company. So they were still actively selling buggies, had showrooms for buggies in 1913. And some of these sounds like they were dealerships, but that's how big a deal this was. That if a dealership moved, it literally made it into the trade journal. I think some of the stuff does specifically say the corporation, but I think some of these were like dealerships. The Lewis Motor Truck Company, San Francisco, California, has been reorganized with a capital stock of $1 million by a party of local and Eastern capitalists. It is the intention of the new concern to secure a factory site somewhere on the Alameda County shore on which an up-to-date plant will be erected, and it is planned to turn out 200 more trucks during the first year. The present San Francisco factory will be maintained as a shop and service station as soon as the new plant is completed. Charles B. Lewis, head of the old company, will be retained as president and general manager of the reorganized company, and with him actively engaged in the corporation work will be Charles Marshall and Walter Kenny, while most of the members of the old concern will continue as stockholders. The present models will be improved somewhat, but in the main will resemble the Lewis vehicle. Hey, there's Mark. Mark jumped on for a bit tonight. Great idea, Pete. If any of you, everybody that attended the gathering, have Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, take a pic of where you put your oil can and throw it up there. Awesome. Great idea, Pete. Brilliant Ironworks near Buick Man built tractors. And that's right, Glenn. A lot of buggy manufacturers got into cars. So Alameda had the port for shipping. That explains why they were building trucks there. So the Studebaker Corporation, Detroit, Michigan, has placed at the disposal of its service department an entire plant completely outfitted with machinery and able to turn out on short notice parts for every model of its cars, now in the hands of the public. Okay? Let's think about that one for a minute. In today's world, obviously, you can go to the parts store and get a lot of parts for your cars. 1913, not quite that easy. Hundreds of manufacturers. So let's rethink this. Studebaker has placed at the disposal of its service department an entire plant. They had an entire plant outfitted with people, machinery that would be able to turn out on short notice for parts for every model of its cars, now in the hands of the public. So that's really crazy to kind of think about when you say, okay, they have an entire factory that if your 1905 Studebaker broke a spindle, they will make you one. Not something that we will ever even hear about again. But that's what's so awesome about going back in time and looking at this stuff. The Continental Motor Manufacturing Company announces that the rumor circulating to the effect that it has acquired the Lozier Motor Car Company's plant is false. The Continental Company was trying to procure motor manufacturing machinery in a hurry, and while in this dilemma was offered a part of the new motor machinery in the plant of the Lozier Company and instantly purchased it. Great Kitty, what are you doing? Great Kitty. What are you doing, Goofy? So really crazy looking back in time at what's going on. Let's catch one more page. We've still got a few minutes. That's right, Kenny. This stuff does not happen in today's world. New incorporations. Going to the next page, there again, pretty much all just text here. We'll get to this page probably next week. We'll see what we got in here. Because there's some really interesting stuff here the way it looks. New incorporations. The LeCompte Cycle Car Corporation of New York City has been incorporated with a capital stock of $50,000 to manufacture autos and cycles. Now, we've got to understand, obviously, in 1913, money was completely different than it is today. But literally, they incorporated with a capital stock of $50,000 to go into the manufacturing of automobiles and cycle cars. Obviously was not a successful venture, because I've never heard of the LeCompte Cycle Car Corporation at this point. So apparently it was pretty short-lived, and apparently the $50,000 was probably not enough to get them very far, even in 1913. The Simplex Specialties Company, Detroit, Michigan, has been organized to market the Green Top Lifter. Offices have been opened at 703 Woodward Avenue, in charge of John Tetford, who carries on a general accessory business for the Simplex Specialties Company. The McClintock Engine Company, Detroit, Michigan, has been formed to design, construct, install, equip, and deal in all kinds of combustion engines, with a capitalization of $200,000. The Howe Engine Company, Indianapolis, Indiana, has been incorporated under the same name with an authorized capitalization of $50,000. Lewis Howe, Pearlie Howe, Roy Howe, Benjamin Howe, and Murat Hopkins are interested. The company manufactures automobile fire trucks and engines. The Howe Engine Company. The Standard Automobile and Machinery Company, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, will shortly make application for incorporation papers to PA authorities. The new concern is to conduct a general machine work establishment and to store and repair automobiles. So wow, it's just crazy thinking about these numbers, and these are new companies. We're going to go into the business of manufacturing engines. We're going to go into the business of manufacturing automobiles. Super interesting. Let's catch some of the financial and legal news, and then we'll probably be getting ready to wrap this one up. But there's some there again, and we do have to really remember that the numbers obviously were dramatically different. But when we think about, today's world and what stuff costs and what they were doing, kind of crazy to think about. And sometimes it didn't work. How about the Blacklock Tire and Rubber Company, Birmingham, Alabama, increased its capital stock from $3,000 to $5,000. Yeah, I don't need any caffeine now. I did have some earlier, but it's just been a super long weekend. It's been a really long weekend. The Standard Wrench and Tool Company, Providence, Rhode Island, went into the hands of a receiver. So apparently that didn't work out. The Crescent Motor Company, now I have heard of the Crescent, Cincinnati, Ohio, has been sued by Martin Motor Sales Company for non-delivery of orders. So apparently the Crescent Motor Company was probably in financial situation at that point because they're not delivering cars. The Julian Motor Company of Syracuse, New York, maker of automobile motors, has recently been petitioned into involuntary bankruptcy. The Cutting Motor Car Company, Cutting, has been petitioned into bankruptcy by several creditors. The Wisconsin Motor Manufacturing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has started suit for $25,000 for notes due against the Cutting Motor Car Company. So there again, we're seeing some of this happen. All these hundreds and hundreds of small manufacturers that didn't make it, we're seeing it right now. We're going back in time. We're thinking about it. Yeah, I'm sure, Dan. I bet so. So, the Cutting Motor Car Company is being sued by Wisconsin Motor Manufacturing Company and been petitioned into bankruptcy by several creditors. And I have never heard of the Cutting Motor Car Company, but that's what's happening with a lot of this stuff. So that's right. Everybody's mad at everybody. The Churchfield Motor Car Company. Never heard of a Churchfield. Sibley, Michigan has filed a trust mortgage on all its property to the Union Trust Company in Detroit. Its plant at Sibley is shut down, awaiting a decision. When we read this stuff, when we're reading this as firsthand news, when this was printed, when this stuff hit this paper, this was news. This was the news. This is what was happening to all these small manufacturers. The Willys Overland Company, Toledo, Ohio, with a payment of a 5% extra dividend on August 10th, the Willys Overland Company have dispersed close to $2 million to stockholders this year. Some good news for the Willys Overland Company, and we do know now that they did continue for several more years successfully. The Parker Transmission and Appliance Company, Fulton, New York, has been involved into financial difficulties by Hunter Brothers, who own a controlling interest, and operations have been suspended. The Michigan Buggy Company, Kalamazoo, has been closed down pending a reorganization. The company is capitalized at $500,000. Unfavorable money conditions in the Eastern money market are given as a cause of the difficulties. The Julian Motor Company, I don't remember a Julian, has had involuntary petition in bankruptcy filed against it by the June Press. The petitioners claim the company transferred property while insolvent. The Walpole Tire and Rubber Company, Walpole, Massachusetts, has been placed in the hands of Robert Fisher as temporary receiver for the purpose of effecting an adjustment of the company's finances. The Hartford Suspension Company of New York and Edward Hartford and George Hartford of Orange, New Jersey have been recommended damages in the sum of $30,572 against the Western Manufacturing Company of Newark. Patent infringements on a shock absorber for automobiles and other vehicles were for demonstrating purposes alleged in the suit. Once again, that's the one we just gave away, Mark. We just gave that one away to Big Job. This is the new one, Mark. This is for May, right here. Patent infringement on shock absorbers. The Muncie Gear Company, Muncie, Indiana, Eugene Vettet, has been named as receiver for the company. It is said that the company had $277,061 in liabilities and $204,752 in assets on June 1st, and that since that date, the liabilities have increased and the assets decreased. It is said also that the company now has orders enough on hand to make a profit of $100,000, which sum is the estimated difference between the present liabilities and assets. Blue Book. Blue Book, we've heard of Automobile Blue Book. Yes, the Automobile Blue Book Publishing Company. The suit for infringement of the copyright laws brought by the Blue Book Company against the Automobile Club of America for the infringement of the copyright in the publication of the tour book issued by the club has been settled out of court. In the settlement, the club makes a substantial cash payment to Blue Book and withdraws its contemplated road book from publications for this year. The club also endorsed the Blue Book by the purchase of 1,000 copies for distribution among its members. So literally, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And this is just multiple more examples of how you could literally, other than changing the numbers, obviously the numbers are much, much larger now. Considering some of the capitalization of these companies is less than the cost of a new pickup today. Could literally be change the date to 2023 and some of this stuff would make sense. Copyright infringements over designs, the lawsuits, of course, the hundreds and hundreds of small automobile manufacturers going into receivership. Literally the more they change, the more they say the same. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap up for tonight. Like I said, there is so much great stuff in here. Can't wait to get into the ones that Glenn brought us as well. But a few more pages of epic information from September 1913 from the Automobile Trade Journal. And with that, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping tonight up. As always, I appreciate you guys being here, hanging out, making this what it is. It's all because of your support that this is a chat. This isn't me talking into a webcam. This is a chat with all of us having a great time hanging out together. What's coming up for this week? We definitely got to get you some new inventory up. I've got one more Pioneer Village video I'll probably throw up tomorrow night on a new display. Yes, they are actually adding to the display at Pioneer Village. Brand new display, has never been set up. They're building a room for it, gathering the items up, setting up a new display. We're going to have that video up, plus some new inventory this week. And be sure to check out that Pitt State channel. Help us out. Help us spread that around. Let's get the word out to kids that are interested in cars, that there is a future for them, whether they want a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. Pitt State Auto Tech offers them both. It is a very unique program, and as well as a 2+2, where you can go ahead and do the 2-year. Then if you decide to go ahead and do 4-year, you can shift into that as well. So check out that YouTube channel, Pittsburg State University Automotive Technology. Give it a subscribe, and we'll be feeding some content out on there as well as what I've got coming up. Hopefully next weekend, we may run into some of you guys at the Lawrence Swap Meet. I know Rico and Jess are planning on being there. Sounds like Austin may make it. There's the Johnny Carson comments. I appreciate that, guys. Obviously don't think what we do here is near that quality, but I do try to put something good together for you guys every week. Today was just a little hectic since I didn't actually even hit town until 3:30. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up episode number 209. It's crazy to think we've done this 209 times, guys. And we're going to do it for the 210th time next week. We will be bringing you some Toy Tuesday. I'm going to get the truck unloaded. We'll bring in some content as far as what came home from me this weekend, from being out on the road, from stopping by Tim's at Mr. Good Pliers, stopping at the salvage yard, hitting the swap meet, and got to get the truck unloaded so I can get reloaded and head to Lawrence this weekend. So anyhow, guys, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by tonight and making this what it is. We'll see some of you live Tuesday evening. And then we definitely hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night for some Sunday night live chat. Same bat time, same bat station. We're going to kick off a new raffle next week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. We sure hope to see you soon, and definitely hope to see you back next Sunday night for another episode of Sunday Night Live Chat. Glad the chats are helping you feel better, Dan. Glad everything went well, and hopefully you get out of the hospital soon, but glad you're feeling better after hanging out with all of us nobodies. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.